Hey y'all, I'm back and today we're talking about Velma, the new HBO Max series, and the reason why I don't like it, but the reason may surprise you. Let's talk about some things that I actually really enjoyed from these first two episodes because I think there was a lot of stuff that had a lot of potential in here. I was actually a huge fan of the comedy in this show. A lot of the stuff that was going on was really it gave me like Family Guy vibes. I'm actually a fan of changing the races of characters. Now, hear me out before y'all cut me off. There are a lot of cartoons and or characters that were created when white was just the standard. The standard was just white. It gives a different point of view for storytelling. And I'm actually a fan of those things when we get to see more diversity, when we get to see different stories being told, because it used to just be simplified to, a bunch of white teens in a mystery van or a bunch of white superheroes. And I know that's a very touchy subject for some people, but it's the truth. Sometimes we do need a little bit of diversity. Like, even take the DC Universe characters, right? You have Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. They are all white, blue eyes, and black hair. They're the number three superheroes in the DC Universe. We could switch up a little something. When I found out that Mindy Kaling was changing Velma to Indian, I wasn't mad and I wasn't excited. I was more intrigued because I thought that that would be a very interesting way to get into Velma's character. But the problem that I have with Mindy Kaling's Velma is that she doesn't stick to the pillars that make these characters the characters that we love. It's hard because you're just injecting yourself into a scenario and taking advantage of the nostalgia of these characters. So I get upset because it's like, don't use these characters and the names that come with these characters and then completely do a brand new idea. It's like, just make your own show. I would have been completely fine with Mindy Kaling just making a show about an Indian girl who solves mysteries. It's not that you love Scooby Doo so much you want to tell it from a different point of view. It's like, no, you want to make a show and you're riding on the coattails of the nostalgia of these characters. That's the truth of what's happening with this show. Cut. There are some new characters, there are, some brand new scenarios, and it's like, why not just create your own show? You see it happening with reboots and revivals all the time. It's like, oh, I want to make Ninja Turtles, but then I want the turtles to be geckos, and I don't want them to have different colored bands. They're all the same color because it's just like, y'all, if you're gonna do Ninja Turtles, if you're gonna do Power Rangers, if you're gonna do Scooby Doo, then let's keep the same pillars that make these characters characters. Then what happens is you get a bunch of Scooby Doo fans who love Velma and all of her quippy, sassy comments, and we're not getting that. There's a part in the show where Velma like eats a fry out the garbage can, and it's like, Velma wouldn't do that. I know she wouldn't do that. So I'm not upset at race swapping as much. Some people can, do it just for diversity's sake. But I'm actually not mad at the race swapping. I'm mad that You're trying to create your own show and you are not being original. Just make your own show. Make your own show. As far as the show itself, again, I did think it was really funny, but I was distracted because I was like, these are not the Scooby Doo characters. These aren't the characters at all. Shaggy isn't even Shaggy. His name is Norville, and it's like, he's black, which is fine, but it's like, wait, so why is he here? Daphne is Asian, and again, that's cool, but it's like, if it's not a part of the storytelling, are we just making Daphne Asian just because? There's some great potential to have, you know, the Scooby Gang come together from different walks of life. And it's like, oh, we're Mystery Incorporated now, but we're all such a crazy, unlikely group of teenagers. That would be interesting. But we're just making Daphne Asian just for the sake of making her Asian. I was really mad how they were sexualizing the high school girls in the beginning in the first episode. Because it's like, y'all, can we please stop sexualizing high school girls? I don't know what is up with HBO Max sexualizing high school girls. It's like, we can tell this story in college, which is still kind of creepy, but it's like, high school people look like babies. That's not okay. It's not okay. I know that people are going to be wondering, like, where's Scooby in all this mess? He was cut from the show. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I did not miss Scooby's presence. And for my Scooby fans, I don't think that Scooby could serve what she was trying to do. And I think that's why this is a problem. You cannot take these Scooby characters and do your own thing. We've already established a few blocks and boundaries. Did I enjoy the show? I did. I've enjoyed it. There are some really funny jokes in here. But it is just so disappointing because I'm expecting Scooby-Doo. And that's the thing about Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo always had this like air of dark themes to it, right? So of course when you say there's a, you know, adult animation about Scooby, it's like, yeah, that sounds right. But Mindy Kaling is not trying to serve Scooby-Doo fans. She's trying to make a show, insert herself, and just ride off of the Scooby-Doo brand. We would have loved to see an animated Scooby-Doo that was like an adult version, but if this fails, it's going to be harder to do that. It's going to be harder to get the Scooby-Doo that we're actually looking for. And that's another thing about these shows. They don't understand when you take Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Scooby-Doo, and you ruin it, you make it harder for people to continue to greenlight the show. So it's going to be harder to get the Scooby-Doo that we actually want if this flops. From what I'm seeing online, people are not liking it. So tell me what you thought about Velma. Are you feeling it? Are you upset that Mindy Kaling took this and just did her own thing? No, and I'll see you soon.